Hi, this is Scott with eTrailer. Today we're going to be taking a look at and installing our B&W Gooseneck Hitch system for our 2024 Ford F-250. F-250 is a really popular truck for pulling heavy loads and pulling trailers. If your truck didn't come with a puck system in it, the B&W Gooseneck system is a really top quality, good way to go. They're always really high quality from their finishes on them all the way to their welds and just the way they're built. Installation on these is a little bit tricky, but it's something you could definitely get done yourself. This is going to be able to pull a 30,000 pound trailer tongue weight rating here, and that is really heavy duty. So if you're looking to pull maybe a big camper, maybe a utility trailer, or even a big car hauler, this is going to be the way to go. B&W has the square shank design on this, and this is really nice. These last a really long time. They're not going to really move around a whole lot. They don't really get stuck down in there when they have this square design. This has the open corners on it, so all you really have to do is keep a little grease down in here, and next time you need to pull this out, even if you leave it in there for a long period of time, you'll be able to pull it right out of there. What this design is pretty cool. It's going to have your integrated safety chain loops. So those are going to come right through your bed. So when you need them, you just pull them up, hook up, and when you don't need them, they're out of the way. Another nice thing about this is you can keep the ball with your hitch system without having a hole. All you'll do is just flip your ball and just send it back down into its location. Then you can turn your handle and your handle will lock it in place. Now, it's out of the way and you can use your truck bed like you normally would without a hitch system in it. When you're ready to tow, you just pop it back out, get it back in, put your handle in, and you're all set to go. Now we have our ball in, we have our handle. All we have to do is pop it over, and that is going to lock into place. B&W has always been known for the really high quality setups. What this one is really nice, if you have a fifth wheel trailer at home and you need to get another setup for that, when you have this one installed, you don't have to have the puck system or anything. This one will work with the B&W companion system, so you can pull whatever kind of trailers you need to. Installation could be a little bit tricky and a little bit daunting once you get everything out of the package and you see everything you have to deal with. It is something you will be able to do. You do have some pretty high torque specs that you have to deal with, so you're going to want a really good torque wrench to deal with this and a really good set of sockets, and you can get it done in a weekend. If it's something you feel like doing yourself, stick around and watch our video. If it's something you don't feel like doing yourself, you can always take a look at our dealer locator and they can get you something done locally. To start our installation, we took a measurement from the back of our bed and went to this little dimple in the center and made sure that measurement was correct. You do want to double check that a couple times in your instructions. So what I'm going to do now that I know that is correct, I'm going to start right here at this dimple. I'm going to take a 4-inch hole saw and we're going to run a hole right through there. Okay, we'll clean that up. We took a little bit of black paint and sprayed around the inside here just to keep corrosion from happening. Now we're going to need to drop our exhaust down one hole in our bracket. So what I did is I did take a cam buckle strap and put it around our exhaust and have it supported here just to give it a little extra support while I do that. Now in the back of our vehicle here, we have our exhaust hanger in the rear. We're going to need to break these loose, so I'll pull out all 4 of these bolts that surround this mount. Now in our kit, we have this little bracket that comes in. It's going to have a square hole. We want that on the bottom. And we're going to run our bracket through our bottom hole and the top hole. The top hole of our bracket, bottom hole on our frame. Just get that started. And you may have to move your clip around to get it lined up. And we'll get our bolt in the top started through our bracket. And we'll follow this procedure on both sides of our bracket. Okay. Now we'll just line up the square drive of our carriage bolt and get our nut installed, and we'll do the same thing on the other side. Now with all of our hardware in place, we'll come back through and tighten everything up. Above our axle, we're going to have these two plugs. We're going to need to get these popped off of here, and we're going to relocate these, and it's going to give us some room. So for now, I'm just going to get these pulled back, and I'll probably need to unplug them and get them around our line and then re-plug it in underneath. We're just making clearance with these. Now we have to put our plates on. We're going to sandwich two different plates on each side of our frame. This one's going to be our passenger side. The other side has instructions on it for where our handle will be, so we put them on that side. This one will go this side. For our hardware, we have our large bolts, and we're going to go with a flat washer. And these are going to go on the outside in, and then on the inside of that, each bolt will get a flat washer, followed by a lock washer, and then our nut. From underneath, on the inside of our frame, how we have our inside bracket set up. And we have our hardware in place, and we're just going to leave them finger tight for now. Now in your kit, you're going to have these little metal bushings that are going to have to go into a part of this, and you want to make sure you're getting them on the correct side. You're going to have this hole here on this side, and you're going to have a little notch, and this is only going to fit one way. So you're going to have to pop it in and press it in, and we're going to have to tap it all the way around, or you can use a vise or something. Just you want to get the rim of this flat against this portion here, and we're going to do that with all of them. Now we have our arms that are going to go across our center. You're going to want to pay attention to which way they go and lay them out on the ground. Basically, we did ours underneath of it and just kind of laid them out the way they're going to go. We have our bushing, and that's going to be facing up. We're going to get our bar put in place and just get it run up over top. What I want to do is take one of the carriage bolts in the kit, drop it inside the tube, and just get it to sit in place there. You want to do that because when these start coming together, you're going to have a hard time doing that. But for now, all we're doing is we're just getting them loosely put in place. Now on our bracket over here, we're going to see where our bushing is going to be right through there. We're going to take one of our hardware. You can see it's the black hardware, and it has the Loctite on it. We're going to get that one popped in place. It can be a little tricky to see. You'll have to move your bracket a little bit. But we just want to get these started just to hold everything in place. And we'll follow the same procedure with all four of these. We have our side plates we're going to get put in place. Our carriage bolts that we installed, we want to make sure they are seated down into the square notch. Now these bottom holes, you want to kind of line those up, and as you're pushing up on the arms themselves, you want to kind of line up your carriage bolts. Being careful not to push them up in if you can. Just get everything to set in place. And these are going to kind of sit on top of our arms. So now we just want to take a large washer, a lock washer, and a nut. And again, we're just going to get these on there finger tight for now. And we'll do this with all four of them for both plates. Now we got our center section put up in place, and I'm just holding it here. We're going to take our hardware with no washer on this one, and we're going to run it from the inside out. This can be a little tricky. handle will get in the way just a little bit. For the nut side, we'll go with a large washer, a lock washer, and our large nut. And just get these finger tight as well. Now you will want to follow your instructions because one of your bolts will go through a different direction, and that will be the one that is closest to the spring for your handle setup. We can go through and get our hardware along the bottom holes of our plate. We're going to take our bolt and run it through from the inside out. We'll take a large washer, a lock washer, and a nut. And we will do those the same way all the way around for our bottom of our plate. On our driver's side, the cab is up this way, so we have one bolt hole here and our second one back. This one we're going to do different with our hardware. We're going to take our bolt washer and go up with this one. And we're going to take our large flat washer and a lock washer, and then a nut, and just get those finger tight for now. Now we'll take our same hardware setup, but we're going to go in from the top on the rest of them on this side, using the same hardware combination. Now what we have set up and what we've done here is before we go tightening everything up, we want to get our plate underneath of there in place, centered, where we want it to be here. We want to be able to pull this up before we start tightening our bolts down. So we want this pretty much where it's going to be. So when we tighten them down, it's going to be where it's going to want to live. So with this, you can do just about anything you want. You can use a couple buckets with maybe a bar across it, and then you can use a ratchet strap or something. As long as you get it tugged up tight, where it really isn't moving around, and you like the way it looks there, then we can get underneath and start tightening things down. We're going to go through and tighten all of our bolts. We're going to follow the sequence that it shows in our instruction manual. When you do these, if you're doing this yourself, make sure you follow that sequence and go by the directions on how they want everything done, because basically that's what's going to pull it all together. Now, once we have all our hardware tightened up, we'll come back through and follow our torque sequence and get everything torqued down. Once we get everything torqued down, we did get our handle put in place over here. So we just slid it through and did the bracket. So we got that put on. Now we'll need to put holes through these holes right here. So we're going to just run a pilot hole through each one of these. We have 4 of those. So we'll run our pilot hole, and then we'll come back through and then go drill out the size we need. And these are going to be for our safety chain loops. From underneath, we want to get our hole. We have 2 layers. We're going to have our bed support up underneath here. We want to get punched through that, and then we can run our pilot hole up through the middle of that. So the upper layer will be through our bed itself, and that's where we're going to get our center. Down here, we're just getting this cleaned up and getting through these, and then we'll drill from the top down once we get up into our bed. For the top, these are our safety chain loops. We want them to be able to drop right in through this hole. And what we're going to do up here is just take a step bit until we get them out to where we want without going too far. Now we can drop our loops in place. Now we can go underneath and get them secured. Take our spring and run it up. And we'll follow that up with a nut This can be a little tricky because your spring will want to fight with you a little bit. Once they're all started, we'll snug them down until our nut is level with the end of our bolt of our loop. Now that we have those up and in place, now we can get our spare tire up, and that'll do it for our installation. And that was a look at our B&W Gooseneck Hitch for our 2024 Ford F-250. I'm Scott with eTrailer, and thanks for watching.